Mission accepted. Heading to Central Africa.
Rescue the 2 prisoners being held in a guard post to the southwest of Ngumba Industrial Zone. The targets are civilians, 1 male, 1 female. Apparently they're specialists sent out there to investigate infectious diseases. They were frequent visitors to that devil's house at Nzoyamanibu. If you recover them, we'll finally be able to get first-hand accounts of what's been going on in that place.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has infiltrated our the map. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Squad is on its way to the guard post. Watch yourself.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
You need to help her.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. prison detected. The map analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Help me!
Kept you waiting, huh?
Why? You've come to rescue me.
Kept you
I was
waiting,
asked to show that man around here.
Clouds approaching.
I hated every second. I wish I'd said no, but I was the only one on the team who spoke English. So we went to that factory. Bodies. It scared me. I'm used to seeing them. What could that be? What's the cause? Who would do such a thing? Hey, are you researching it as well? Better quit while you can. I've been here for 5 years.
Buddy has infiltrated. Our map has been updated.
What's going on? So,
Analysis
here to save
complete.
me. I was called
Analysis complete.
here to transport. It's equipment facility. And examine the patients there. But never did I imagine. What was that? I'd never seen
Subject
those
on board.
symptoms.
Leave the rest to us.
The map
Amazing, boss.
updated.
Getting both prisoners out in that situation. Great work. Now exfiltrate.
Mission info has been updated. Analysis complete.
Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? You gotta extract him. Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh?
Don't move.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Analysis complete.
Kept you waiting, huh? 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 Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Kept you waiting, huh? too. Roger that.
Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss. Boss, we placed the 2 targets in quarantine. They don't show signs of anything, but we'll monitor them just the same. If they had access to the Devil's House, I doubt they were sent there by some health organization. Cypher used them, and would have eliminated them eventually. But we'll protect them here. They've agreed to that. After all, we helped them out of the country as promised. The mission's complete. But boss, they've been behind the curtains at Ngumba. They examined the patients there nearly every day. They told us the patients were being made to listen to voices on tape. But the male target added something interesting. He said he doesn't know what was on the tapes because there was no English version. Of all the voices that were shoved down those people's throats, English was one of them.
Boss, staying on the battlefield that long will have a negative impact on your health. Why not head back to Mother Base for a shower once in a while?
The boss is back. Let's go refuel and load up on artillery.
We're good to go, Chief.
What's the matter?
Stop this! Now!
What the fuck, you freak?
Give me a hand!
Hold her still.
Dismissed.
Payback for how they treated her?
Doesn't explain the others. She had every chance to kill them. Tighten security on her cell. This happens a second time. There won't be a third.
Boss, about Eli. I'd heard that one product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa. The age would be about right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same. Don't worry, I'll have it done without him noticing. The test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results.
Please select landing zone confirmed.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Development project has been
This
added.
is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project.
Gaining altitude.
Commencing platform construction. Commencing platform construction. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Please select a mission. Mission accept. Heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
Mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the General's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt.
infiltrated out. The map has been updated.
Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid.
The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Disengage, or use your tranquilizer pistol or CQC to put him down gently. Okay, that's the General's brother, his number 2. Get him out of there, boss. That's the target prisoner. He's injured, looks half-starved too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
Has been updated.
General, ya bacala.
Updated. Guard post captured.
Fire!
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Arriving shortly at
Extraction
LZ.
arrived at Mother Base.
That prisoner doesn't look like the target.
This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Okay, subject is in. All that's left is to extract the commander.
Caution, rain approaching. Support helicopter has arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
That's the way.
There he is, the commander. Extract him.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched.
Departing!
Extraction
extract him?
arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper.
Mission
Look
list
closely.
updated.
Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a sparganum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop.
Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher.
So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa.
Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Alright. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection? Boss, a new job's come in. It's a hit. I'm the human trafficker who sent Shabani and the others to Nzoya Badia Bulu, where you ran into Skullface. The thing is, this guy might know something about the disease that's going around Mother Base. The symptoms are similar to the ones we saw at that factory. Start by checking the mission details on your iDroid.
Boss, about those invalids you saw in that devil's house.
Poor bastards. All strapped down to the beds, with those lumps on their chest.
The medical staff tell me they were probably a type of cyst.
Cysts can get that big.
In some cases, yes. But supposing they're a kind of atheroma forming on the surface of the skin, the size is just too big, and the appearance is all wrong. In the end, the medical team were at a loss. Those lumps were like nothing they'd ever seen. The fluid you said you got on your prosthesis when you touched one was burned off in the fighting, and the factory burned down too. None of the tests we did once you were back at the base revealed a pathogen that could have caused them. Meaning we don't have a single sample to work with.
Everything went up in flames.
What worries the medical team most is whether it's contagious. Whether there's a chance we could end up like that.
And?
Mother Base's sanitation control has always been strict. After all, war is great at transporting diseases. For the time being at least, there's no sign of contagion or any symptoms that could be related. Thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's House.
Yeah?
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
There's nothing tying the contents together. We've got a report on 3 deaths in a car accident on the autoroute near Marseille. Protests outside the Libyan embassy in London. A press conference with the former Prime Minister of Sweden. A 4-month-old weather forecast for Balikpapan. And then commercials for appliances, cough syrup, and TV dinners. Assuming they're not all staged, they come off as recordings of your average public broadcasts.
Public broadcasts? Just radio and TV signals?
Yes, and from all over the world. We're looking into whether they're genuine or not, just to be sure. What else? A speech that sounds like it was recorded out on the street, and people chatting about how this year's tomato crop did.
And there's nothing they have in common?
We're partway through the cryptanalysis. That includes checking all audio ranges and running it backward and at different speeds. Then there's vocabulary breakdown for political suggestions, ideological common points. But I don't think it's gonna get us anywhere.
Where were the recordings made?
There's nothing linking them from that angle either. Just like you reported, we've detected virtually every major language there is. French, German, Italian, Spanish, including South American accents. Then there's Russian, Hindi, Arabic, Portuguese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Japanese.
They're nothing if not thorough.
Well, I don't know if we've got them all covered. Ignoring the ones that have gone extinct, supposedly over 5,000 languages exist today. Besides, English isn't one of the ones we picked up.
Really? English?
I know. Only 5% of the world's population is a native English speaker. But when you factor in those who've acquired it as a second language, nearly 1/3 of the people speak it. The world's dominant lingua franca. You gotta figure they had it somewhere among all the languages in that place.
No English.
Bear in mind we didn't hear everything that was played in that room. We couldn't isolate the more distant sounds due to static and the program could have been set to change every day. In a nutshell, for reasons unknown, people in that room with a common medical condition were made to listen to recordings in languages from around the world. It's not clear how the growths on their chests fit into it. It could have been treatment for them, or maybe an experiment of some kind.
I'm guessing one person knows.
Yeah, Skullface. He was there. The only thing we can say for sure is that he's involved.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
All right. We'll quarantine the staff you specified. Did you figure out what's causing the infection? hard to believe how many of those bipedal weapons have popped up around Africa.
When did that start?
No more than 6 months ago. Didn't really hit me until I came here.
They're not supposed to be in use yet. Emmerich says they were still doing the last round of fine-tuning.
The doctor has no idea. His research has already hit the black market. Both sides of the Iron Curtain will have it by now. Even so, they're spreading much too fast. Sure, the Walker gears can operate in any terrain. Their mobility's just as good in the jungle as it is in the desert. That would come in handy in a place like Africa. They are modules that can one day be used as nuclear weapon systems. And with that in mind, the numbers are way too large. There must be another reason they're so widespread.
Like what?
It's all about needs. To small-time outfits like most of these private forces, this product is a dream come true. Hell, it goes beyond PFs. This is the ultimate weapon, the forbidden fruit, for anyone with an enemy to fight and people to defend.
The nuclear deterrent.
Exactly. Sounds familiar, huh? PFs are all operating off your playbook. You created these times. But could this be the new weapon in Africa that Emmerich talked about? If it is, why is Cypher letting everyone and his brother get their hands on one? What comes next? Selling nuclear weapons in the open? Making them public property?
Why don't they give that a try? Then the next war really will be fought with sticks.
Right. The man we're dealing with isn't foolish enough to make a suicide pact with the world.
So, what is Cypher really up to?
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Boss, I have the report on that cargo we stole from Cypher's truck. The PF was transporting two things. The analysis of that malachite has come back first. Naturally, the main compound is copper. There's also a small amount of cobalt. Nothing unusual so far. Southern Zaire is a well-known copper belt. However, in addition to these, we also detected a trace amount of uranium. The content percentage, though, is too low for nuclear development. It most likely came from Shinkalobwe mine. That's where the uranium in that area comes from. The mine's closed, as all the high-purity uranium ore dried up a long time ago, but you could probably still find it there in small quantities. That said, there are plenty of other uranium mines that are in operation, like in Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Why go to an abandoned mine to scrape up whatever's left and ship it out in mass quantities without refining it? They were transporting that yellow cake too, which would suggest they have the technology to refine uranium. Anyway, that about sums it up. Unfortunately, the analysis of that yellow cake is taking a little longer. I'll let you know when it's done.
Select unit. Staff has been quarantined.
Alright. We'll quarantine the staff you specified.
Please select.
Did you figure out what's causing the infection?
Mission
Incredible, boss. Thanks to you, the number of new victims has plummeted. And the common point between the infected. Is it really possible for a disease to spread because of that?
deploying.
Boss, the target is a PF logistics officer who works as a human trafficker on the side. The client wants him dead. He's currently on the run somewhere on the savannah with bodyguards. Unfortunately, we don't know what route they're taking. All we have to go on is a coded transmission sent by the PF at the Ti-Bren abandoned village. It appears to be a workup of the target's security plans, but to decipher it, we'll need an intel file with the encryption key. This key should be at the comms facility at the Ti-Bren abandoned village. Check your iDroid to see what the target looks like, as well as the location of the village. Find the route. Find the man.
Be careful down there, boss.
Detected. The map has been
You
updated.
made it to the Ti-Bren abandoned village. That's where the enemy PF's coded transmission came from. There's got to be a transmitter there somewhere. It could have the intel file containing the encryption key.
The map has
Look
been
for an antenna.
analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Ik wil niet teruggaan. What is it?
Talk.
The map has been
Ik
updated.
wil niet teruggaan.
Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
A prisoner. He might have some information. If you extract him, we'll see what he knows. Boss, that prisoner you extracted was a civilian abducted by the target. He says the trafficker is trying to make contact with a human rights NGO. He hopes that by handing over his list of buyers, they'll guarantee his safety. But I don't get it. Why an NGO? Why run to someone else for help?
Moet move. Alsjeblieft.
Speak.
Moet niet te doen.
The map has been updated. Intel
Picked up an
file.
intel file.
Extraction.
According to this information, the target is headed for Kojima camp. We also have his movement route. I've updated your map. Use the target's route to locate him. Eliminating him will be much harder if he makes it to the Kojima camp. Take him down on the savannah.
Analysis complete.
Okay, subject is in.
Sun will rise momentarily.
Bisa disambung.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Marker placed. Marker placed.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy prison detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has infiltrated our map has
Boss, the target's getting away. Don't let him make it to that outpost. Hurry!
The map has been updated. The map has been updated.
Haka. Kontakt verloren naar Kreeg. Hij is
Analysis complete.
gonna extract him?
Clouds approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis
That's the target.
complete.
Eliminate him, however you see fit.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Roger.
Mission info support helicopter requested. Marker removed. Marker removed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is P-Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is P-Squad. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude. Departing.
Exfiltrated.
Alright, you're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Arrived at Mother Base.
Yes, mission complete.
Our trafficker was very talkative. Guinea pigs. That's what became of his kidnapped victims. Says he got a good look at that factory at Zoya Badiabulu when he dropped off some fresh guinea pigs for them, along with our man without a face. His instincts told him to run like the rat he is. Said it wasn't worth the money. Figured he could be next. That's when he went to the NGO for help. He thought that in exchange for his buyer's list, they could set him up with a new identity someplace far away. He had an idea who he was up against, and he didn't want to take any chances. A true rat. But like us dogs, he knew when he smelled trouble. And something else. He said the specimens come from deep in the forest. We don't know what he meant by specimens just yet, but those guinea pig symptoms match what we've seen on the infected at Mother Base. Deep in the forest. Maybe there's the clue we need to beat this infection. Boss, the truth could be right around the corner.
Side ops list updated.
Boss, we finally heard from one of our missing intel team members. He says he has a solid lead on the epidemic at Mother Base. Take a look at the mission details ASAP.
Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility, those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere.
Caution.
But at the very
Rain
least,
approaching.
she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic.
Select
There
unit.
must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Plant expansion complete. Commencing platform construction. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
A member of the intel unit has gotten a lead on the epidemic that's crippling Mother Base. The problem is, our man has been captured by the PF in his operation area. He's being held at the guard post on the western end of the mine. Boss, we need you to get him out ASAP. Right now, he's only linked to the root cause of the epidemic.
Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Is that him?
Body has
Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Analysis complete. You have arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Check the VI on your iDroid. That's where the target is being held.
Analysis. Enemy presence. Analysis. The map has been updated. Marker placed. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Don't move his feet. Talk.
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Boss got an emergency report from the intel team. A vehicle has fled the guard post heading northwest. The prisoner at the wheel appears to be the target. Will he escape on his own? The target is no longer at the designated position. Find that vehicle fast.
Clouds approaching. The map has been updated.
Boss, did you see that explosion? There's smoke. The target's crashed his vehicle. That'll bring the enemy down on him in no time. The target's in danger. Get to the scene of the crash.
Analysis complete. Staff member has died.
Get terug naar jullie posten!
Boss, the target's dead. Mission failed.
The target is being held captive in the guard post on the western end of the mine. Check the VI to see where the target is. Check the VI on your iDroid. That's where the target is being held.
Brace!
Oostenrijkje, Kooswijk!
A vehicle has fled the guard post heading northwest. The prisoner at the wheel appears to be the target. He escaped on his own. The target is no longer at the designated position. Find that vehicle fast. Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets. Did you see that explosion? There's smoke. The target's crashed his vehicle. That'll bring the enemy down on him in no... Where's the target? Has to be around. That's the target. He's still breathing. That's fine. I'll send the chopper. Get the target to the RV.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is P-Quad. Arriving shortly at over.
Analysis complete. Enemy presence analysis complete. The map
This is
has
P-Quad.
been updated.
Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived. Enemy presence detected. The map has
You
been
gotta extract him.
exfiltrated.
That's it. You made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Alles gespannt, das steht hier. Was Frost aufgebaut. Alle Jäger verscannen your positions. Departing.
Mission complete. And the target's safe. Time to figure out what the hell is behind this epidemic.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, the intel team member you extracted was DOA. He kept insisting we listen, right up until his last breath, about the pathogen, and the old man who knows how to treat it. Code Talker. He even told us where he is. Boss, let's make sure his death was the last. It's high time we met this Code Talker.
Mission
Boss,
list updated.
you need to make contact with Code Talker, the old man who knows what the pathogen is. We have to stop this disease that's spreading across Mother Base. Select the mission on your iDroid.
Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Mission not accepted. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Clouds approaching. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Deploying.
Make contact with the old man known as Code Talker. According to the intel team member you extracted, he knows what the epidemic is and how to treat it. You'll find him in a mansion deep in the valley beyond the forest. He's a high-value target who's probably involved with Cypher's research. This information came at a heavy price. And you're convinced security on site is gonna be tight. Watch yourself out there, alright? Make contact with the target, Code Talker. And if the treatment requires it, extract him to Mother Base.
Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals, as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkolobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium-enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass-produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel-type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology.
No sign of the enemy. Judging from security in the area, I'd expect to see a patrol by now.
Idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure. But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, ZRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site.
Missed. I have a bad feeling about this.
But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium. The world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs, too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area, and we're forcing locals to work in it. and the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow. He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would Zero-Risk Security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, yet to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it?
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete. Christmas Eve, 1979. The Soviet Union rolled into Afghanistan. Muslims had revolted against the Soviet-friendly regime established the year before. The DRA forces could no longer contain it themselves, so the Soviets went in to intervene. The Afghan government was powerless and fraught with infighting. They lost the hearts and minds of the people, and that alarmed the Soviet leadership. With the Islamic Revolution happening in Iran, the Soviets felt they had to act fast or risk the spread of Islamic revivalism. A superpower, sending a motorized rifle division against men on horseback with antique rifles. Everyone thought it'd be over.
You see that? The sniper vanished into thin air. Just like quiet. If you can't mark them, there's no way to tell where they'll strike from next. Stay on your guard.
A war of attrition. These fighters call themselves Mujahideen. They're being supported by the West through Pakistan. That's why Miller was involved. He was training them near the Zero Line, sponsored by the CIA. The war has become a nightmare for the Soviet.
Sniper! Where are they?
6 months at the most. Then a year passed. 2 years. Now here we are 4 years on with no exit in sight. Afghanistan has become the Soviet Union's Vietnam. The Soviet troops on the ground want to go home, but at least they have homes to go back to. The Afghans have lost theirs. The Soviets destroy the kishlaks, villages, wherever they can. They burn down homes and fields, fill in wells, turn pastures into minefields. It's created a mass of refugees who fled to Pakistan. If the Mujahideen are fish swimming around the villages, the Soviets will go so far as to dry out their ocean. But this has had a big price. There's bitter resentment among the Afghans, and they're taking out their anger on the soldiers on the front lines. Among the Mujahideen are the Pashtun people. They're fiercely devoted to their code of Badal, or revenge. Soviets they've captured have had their hands, feet, and noses cut off before being left to die at the side of the road, just to show their comrades what they're capable of. Friendlies who come across them can do nothing but put them out of their misery. Then they burn down another village in retaliation. And the cycle of vengeance goes on.
Development complete. Development complete. Development complete. Development complete.
Fire!
Not good. Don't let your buddy die, Snake. I'm pulling them out of there.
Buddy departing area of operations. Please select a drop point. Dispatch accepted.
Boss, come in. Boss? Boss!
Missed. Have a bad feeling about this. Boss, it's the Skulls. Damn it! So Cypher is behind this. Just like quiet. If you can't mark them, there's no way to tell where they'll strike from next. Stay on your guard. disappearing sniper. Don't let your eyes fool you, boss. The enemy's still there somewhere. Use your binoculars. NVGs are noctocyanin to see through their tricks. Don't tell me you took them all out. That's incredible, boss. Our men can rest in peace now.
Development complete. Buddy has infiltrated our map has been development complete. Development complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Development complete. The map has been updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a drop point. Dispatch requested. Buddy departing area of operations. Buddy has arrived. The map has been updated. The map has been updated.
Good dog.
They're with the PF Zero Risk Security. Looks like they're protecting the target. Why don't you try interrogating them? They're with the PF Zero Risk Security. Looks like they're already on guard.
You have arrived at your destination.
You okay?
CPR is Zulu 2. Tekens van vijandige activiteit. Verskerp sekuriteit. Oor. Dit is CPR, begryp. Hou julle oor af. Uit.
Sun will set shortly.
I've been waiting, Tilly. Or should I say, Bedahokhale.
That's him. That's Code Talker.
Look familiar? It's infecting my men. How do we
Silence. Or death.
What do you...
It could be in here. Stay quiet. Your life depends on it. Sit. The parasite has infected your band. Those are its larvae. They enter the throat and attach themselves to the vocal cords. They mimic the host's membranes flawlessly. No one can tell the difference. Upon reaching maturity, they mate. Sustained exposure to a particular sound triggers copulation. The resulting larva then feast on the host lungs, killing it. The particular sound is words. They attack only those who speak a certain language, not just one. I cannot say which language your parasites are attuned to. But silence is the best way to keep them from laying their children. This contains an herb that they dislike. Good. That should deafen them for a while. You have bought yourself some time. Speak.
Is there a cure?
Once symptoms manifest, larvae have already infested the alveoli. At which point, nothing can be done. There is a way to halt the onset, which would prevent infection.
I need your help.
He stole the ones I sealed away, forced me to do his terrible work.
Skullface.
Even a country like America sways in his wake. I could not defy him. The fate of Diné lies in his hands. However, perhaps the Nishia led you here. If my children have upset the Rojun of the world, it falls to me to set it right.
You've secured the target, but he's too old to risk a full extraction. Put Code Talker in the chopper and return to base.
He claims they are the dream of every ruler since the dawn of time. Teach them your enemy's words, then unleash them on his lands, destroying only those who speak his tongue. He calls them his ethnic cleansers.
Ethnic cleansers? That's what Skullface is after. In Zoya, Badiabulu was... Boss, he's gonna wipe every language besides English off the face of the earth.
Ironic, isn't it? They gave us language, and now they take it away. It is thanks to them that man first learned to speak. But now, the hands of their clock turn back. They've been warped by the hands of man.
Extraction arrived at the motorbase. Mission info has been updated. The map has been enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
They know you took out the skulls. No sense rushing things now. Wait and see what their next move is.
Victims of the experiments. They were implanted without my knowledge, even had I known.
Analysis complete.
There is nothing
Analysis complete.
I could have done.
Are the MIA intel team members buried there too? Bastards. They're gonna pay for this. Roger.
Support helicopter requested.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete, and how? They're gonna tell stories about this one, boss. Boss, we found the bodies of the 2 missing Intel team members in Lufwa Valley. We knew we wouldn't get them back alive, but still, it's a damn shame. Don't let their sacrifice go to waste, boss. We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base. That old man, Code Talker, he's the only hope we've got.
Tell me how to fight it.
I hid the answer in a microbe this one carries. It turns the male parasites into females, preventing reproduction. One parasite infecting another. However, it doesn't affect only the parasite. It alters the host as well. Your infection will be contained, but you and your men will also be rendered infertile. That is the price you must pay to regain your speech.
That freak show back there. They the work of your children too?
Different strain from the vocal cord parasite, known as the one that covers. It acts as the host's skin, providing strength in exchange for nourishment. But I did not know those men were infected. They were forced to serve him. Steal my research. Have you seen one of their vehicles?
The yellow cake.
Captured a convoy they were escorting. Cargo, some kind of mineral.
What became of it? The metallic archaea?
Clouds ahead!
Mission
Boss, are you okay? So the vocal cord parasites that have infected Mother Base, they're ethnic cleansers designed to silence those who don't fit into Skullface's worldview. We can't allow him to have such power. Go over the mission details and get going ASAP.
Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Please select a mission. Deploying.
Clouds ahead!
It's them.
Can you hear me? Are you okay? Looks like you're surrounded by mist. The support chopper can't get close to your position right now.
Hurry! They are coming! are their quarry.
Skulls. So that Misty is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you'll need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker.
Don't get too close to that weird gas. It'll disable vehicles and walker units.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Snake! Talk to me! Snake!
Can you hear me? Are you okay? Skulls. So that Misty is their work. We won't be able to send in another chopper for now. Boss, you'll need to eliminate the skulls. We cannot lose Code Talker. boss. I'm coming in on another chopper. Take Code Talker to the LZ and wait there.
Mission info has been updated. Analysis complete.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. An enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is B-Squad. Arriving shortly at LZ. B-Squad have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. The one and only.
Skullface is no longer in Africa. The nuclear test was a success. Now they turned their knives on me.
Satellites didn't read any test. Neither did seismometers.
The detonation test took place 5 years ago in the southern Indian Ocean. The final test was the opposite, to prevent detonation.
You mean?
Skullface plans to sell nuclear weapons that he retains control of.
It's not like hawking small arms to militias.
Indeed. He plans to avoid detection by exporting minerals containing tiny amounts of uranium in the form of metallic archaea. Once on site, the metallic archaea enrich the uranium and weaponize it. Loaded onto all-terrain bipedal machines. They ensure any country, armed group, even the smallest terrorist cell, can become a nuclear power.
Bipedal. So that's why they needed Huey.
A nuke business to replace the arms business. And Skullface owns the market.
The very atmosphere of nukes, anywhere and everywhere. Deterrence on all sides.
So that's why he ran a non-detonation test.
Yes. Another metallic archaea instantly overrides the criticality generator. It fails safe only he controls. Any such weapon can be deactivated whenever he chooses, regardless of who owns it or their intent to use it.
Nukes. Controlled by a man, not a country.
If they proliferate, conventional nukes lose all value. Political, military, and economic. The two superpowers become powerless.
The R&D and medical teams have come up with a proposal for a new suit that applies Code Talker's research, the Parasite suit. Apparently, it can recreate some of the Skull's unusual abilities. But in order to use those abilities, it needs parasites. If you want to wear this suit, you're gonna need to get a hold of parasites by extracting skulls.
We need to stop the epidemic at Mother Base.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base, what's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikango strain, meaning a breed of parasite that triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikango.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic?
Use this. A type of Wolbachia, introduced to a sample of the parasite. A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more.
Thanks to Code Talker, we've managed to put a stop to any new vocal cord parasite infections. We couldn't save those already symptomatic, but everyone who survived has been released from the quarantine platform. Skullface will pay for this.
Again with the truth serum?
What are those legs made of? Titanium? All the way to the femur.
Metallic archaea.
Sahelanthropus. Where is it?
What?
We have to know before his plan is complete. Sahelanthropus is the final piece.
What are you talking about?
If the Soviets break out a mobile, controllable nuclear weapon, East-West relations will be right back at the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cold War returns to life, as countries without nuclear arsenals line up for what Skullface is selling. Nuclear weapons proliferate overnight, and on the brink of annihilation, the world maintains its balance.
But we know this is all just a shield, a ruse.
The cleansing parasites are what matter most.
A WMD to eclipse even nukes, and the only one that can still be used. Skullface is the world's greatest threat, and Zero's. The pieces are in place. All that remains is to unveil Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan.
They can't activate it without me. Okay, B-Zero. Sahelanthropus is beyond the Soviet base camp, in a lab built by the Soviet philosophers. That's what you're looking for. But I have no idea how he's controlling it. It wasn't designed to accommodate a human pilot. No! No! Wait!
We got word from Afghanistan. Everyone at the Soviet base camp's dead. No sign of fighting. Parasites. Skullface's men then headed north. The target is OKB-0. That's where he'll activate Sahelanthropus. Unless we stop him, he'll go down in history a conquering victor. We can't let that happen. Wipe him out. Don't leave any trace of his existence.
I'm gonna need backup on this one.
You'll rendezvous on site.
Boss, about Eli. No matter how many times we talk to him, he just won't listen. He sees everything in terms of victory or defeat and still won't accept that you beat him. We're gonna have to put him in his place. Again. If you don't mind, come back to Mother Base and go another round with him.
Mission list updated. Development project has been added. Development project has been added. Staff assigned. Development project has been added. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Please select a mission.